Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be sharing with you guys my 2019 makeup favorites. I hope you guys all had a great 2019 and wishing you guys the best for 2020. And yeah, again, I just want to share with you guys all the products that I enjoyed throughout 2019. If you want to know what those products are, definitely continue watching. Also, if you're not yet subscribed, please subscribe. I do upload 3 times a week, Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. So definitely subscribe so you don't miss out. And let's just go ahead and jump right in. So I'm going to start off with maybe complexion products. Yeah, I have so many products on my desk and I also have palettes on the floor. So let's go ahead and start with complexion products. The first product I'm going to share with you guys are setting sprays. I have 2 that stood out to me in the past year. And the first one is the Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. I believe I've mentioned this in previous favorites videos. I just feel like it's really nice and it feels good. Like the aerosol can just really melts everything onto my face. I just like the scent of it as well. It's affordable, so it's just a one that I've just been continuing buying. The other one I did pick up this year, I believe. This is the L'Oreal Shake and Glow Dew Mist. It's by the Lumi brand. I really like this because there was a point where I felt like my skin was looking a little too dry. I was aging, or I am aging, and I just feel like mattifying products don't look all that great on me anymore now that I'm getting older. So I decided to pick this up. Jessica Braun said that this was a dupe to the Tatcha Dewy Mist, and I really wanted to try that, and I'm like, let me go ahead and pick up the more affordable version. This is really nice. It doesn't make you super dewy or anything. It just kind of adds a little luminosity to your skin. I think it looks super pretty on the skin, and it also has a really nice scent to it. So I enjoyed both of these. Next up, I have 3 primers that stood out to me in the past year. The first one is this Olay Henriksen Banana Bright Face Primer. Really like this for hydration, and also this does give some luminosity to the skin as well. I think it looks beautiful under foundation. It's really nice and hydrating as well. Definitely a standout product to me. Next up, I enjoyed this Becca First Light Priming Filter. It has really also gives that kind of luminosity from within look under foundation. It looks beautiful like under matte foundation as well, because your skin doesn't look super matte, because you kind of have that, your skin looking a little, not, I wouldn't say dewy, super dewy or anything. It just kind of gives that little radiance from within look. I just thought it looked super pretty, so happy I have that. And then lastly, this is by e.l.f. This is the Beautifully Bare Luminous Matte Primer. I've been using this recently right now during like the winter time, and I'm not loving it as much as I was loving it in the summertime, but keeps you matte but not super matte where it's like you're too matte, you know what I mean? I feel like the Milk Makeup primer, the grip primer, that one was a primer that really sucked all of my oils, and that's definitely not a product that would be a favorite of mine. But this just adds like the, again, beautiful lit from within, more like a satin finish, I'd say. I think it looks beautiful, and actually this is it's called Lit From Within, but it's part of that Beautifully Bare Luminous Matte Primer. And it's also from e.l.f., so it's super affordable. 3 foundations that have, I believe I mentioned these in my favorites last year. I don't know, I have new foundations, but I just feel like these are standout foundations to me, and they're not new, I don't think. One maybe came out this year. I think it did come out this year, which is the L'Oreal Infallible Freshwear Foundation. I have mine in the shade 460 Golden Beige. This looks super pretty. It's more of a satin finish. They have a glowy one and they also have a matte one. This one's like somewhere in between of both of those. I just feel like it looks beautiful on. I was very impressed the first time I used it, and every time I use it, I just love the way my skin looks. So definitely a favorite of mine. These 2 are affordable as well, so I have 3 affordable foundations. This is the LA Colors Truly Matte Long Wearing High Pigment Foundation. I have mine in the shade Soft Beige. I got mine at Family Dollar, so you don't even have to go super far to pick this up. You can probably find this even at Dollar General probably, but again, I got mine at Family Dollar. This looks beautiful on. It does say it's matte, but it's not a matte finish where it looks super dry and cakey on the face. I think it's beautiful. I really like this. If I'm looking for a high coverage, affordable foundation, this is definitely one that I would recommend. And then lastly, this one is by Kokie. This is the Skin Perfect HD foundation. This is just beautiful for everyday use. It's medium coverage and it just has like a really nice natural finish to the skin. Again, like your skin but better. I really like it. Definitely would recommend it. I have mine in the shade 40W. I'm kind of speeding through because I have a lot of products to talk about. Two primers that I've mentioned before in favorites. Again, the Too Faced Born This Way is definitely a favorite of mine. I wouldn't recommend like during flash photography. I don't know if I applied too much and that's why I saw flashback in pictures when they were taken at night. But it looks beautiful on your skin. Looks nice and airbrushed. Very, very beautiful. Ulta has done 50% off sales on this powder, so you can definitely get it for half off. And then also the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Finishing Powder. I love that one as well. It's from the drugstore. Also makes your skin look really nice and airbrushed. I finished that this year. I'd love to repurchase it, but I'm trying to get through other powders in my collection before I repurchase that. And then another newer powder to my collection was this Flower Beauty Better Not Bitter Flower Powder. It's a flower setting powder. I just have mine in translucent. It kind of has a light like yellow tint to it, but nothing super crazy or anything. I feel like this just makes my makeup long lasting. It kind of has an airbrush finish as well. I was able to pick this up during Ulta 21 Days of Beauty Steal, so I did get this for half off. I believe it reaches around $20 to $25. I'm not sure. But super nice if you're eyeing it, if you hear people raving about it and you're not sure. Like, it's actually a really good powder. I only have one bronzer that stood out to me this past year, and it's actually by Too Faced, and I believe this is also limited edition. This is the Too Faced Natural Lust Bronzer. It's a satin dual tone bronzer. I actually got mine at Marshall's, and you can still find this on TJ Maxx, maybe Ulta, I'm not sure. But this is beautiful. It's not super pigmented where you have to be careful. It just applies really nice. And again, it's a satin finish, so it just looks really beautiful and nice and airbrushed on your skin. It's just, again, super gorgeous. If you find this at Marshall's or TJ Maxx, pick it up. You know, I think I got it for $12 instead of paying the full price. I think it retails around $30. So look at Marshall's or TJ Maxx. Beautiful, beautiful bronzers. I love it. Like, this is the only bronzer that stood out to me from all my bronzers. I really like this bronzer. So I have some blush to share with you guys. I have three. The first one is this Milani Baked Powder Blush in the shade Petal Primavera. I got this because Kathleen Lights had raved about this shade, and she influences a lot of my purchases, but this is so pretty. It looks really beautiful on the skin. It's really like kind of like a natural finish as well. It's a baked product, and that pretty much kind of looks more natural on your skin. Doesn't look like you have blush on. It's just a really beautiful everyday kind of shade, and again, very affordable. This one also stood out to me. We got this from BoxyCharm, I believe this year as well. This is the Laura Geller Baked Blush in Brighten in the shade Tropic Hues. Every time I wear this, I love the way it looks. It's not super pigmented, but it has pigment, so it's also super pretty. I believe this is also a baked blush, which is nice. I don't know if you guys can even tell, but it looks beautiful. If you got this in BoxyCharm and you haven't touched it, like, use it. It's super, super nice. It just gives like a really pretty flush to your cheeks. Super pretty. Like, baked blushes don't look super harsh on the skin, which is nice. It just gives like a really beautiful flush to the cheeks. And then my last blush that I really enjoyed was this Cover FX Monochromatic Blush Duo in the shade Soft Peach. I really want to pick up Warm Honey, but here's what Soft Peach looks like. You get a matte side and then a shimmer side. This is super pigmented, so go super, super light-handed. This will last you a while. If you're trying to put this in a project pan, I don't even know if somebody can actually use this up within the year. Unless they're really going heavy-handed, then yeah, you can, but a little bit goes a long way. Really nice. You get the option of having a matte blush or a shimmer. I have mixed both just to kind of use both of them because, again, you could use either or. I just love how it has like the satin shimmery side and then again the matte version. You get 2 in 1. Pigmented, you get your money's worth definitely since you don't have to use very much. So I really like this. Again, I want to pick up Warm Honey. I have 3 highlighters that stood out to me this past year. The first one is by Tarte. This is the Amazonian Clay Highlighter in the shade Exposed. So pretty, super blinding as well, super creamy, very beautiful highlighter. Really nice and pigmented. I didn't even dip my finger in it that hard either. And it's really nice and blinding on the cheekbones. Again, super pigmented. I got this during a 50% off sale, so very beautiful, definitely would recommend. Another one that stood out to me this year is by Melt Cosmetics. This is the Digital Dust Highlight in the shade Stargazer. This is newer to my collection, but I've really been enjoying it. Every time I used it, I thought it was beautiful. A little bit of this goes a long way. Also, really, really pigmented as well. And I just feel like both of these look super beautiful. This one's not as creamy. It kind of feels more hard when you're like swatching it, but it still looks beautiful on the cheekbones. When I have used it, I really enjoy it. I think the shade is beautiful as well. So another highlight I've been loving. And then lastly, I picked this because I like the formula as well, but the shade is pretty unique to my collection. This one is by Jeffree Star Cosmetics. This is in the shade Peach Goddess, and it's like a peachy tone shade. I think it's beautiful on the cheekbones. It's kind of like a peachy pink kind of color. Also super pigmented and blinding on the cheekbones. You get a ton of product in here, and again, the shade is pretty unique to my collection. I buy a lot of like champagne gold kind of highlights, so this is definitely one that's not that kind of color, but it's still beautiful on the skin. I think it's beautiful. So again, another product every time I used this past year, I loved it. I have 5 face palettes that stood out to me this past year. The first one is by Hourglass. This was a part of the holiday collection last year, I believe, but I just got this year. This is the Ambient Strobe Lighting Blush Palette, and you have 3 blushes in here. This is also a baked product, which again also looks super pretty on, very natural. I feel like my skin looks really beautiful and glowy. I really like this. Definitely stood out this year. A highlighter palette by, what is this? Glam Glow. I was like, where did I get this from? I actually got this from Marshall's. So if you see it at Marshall's, pick it up. It's super good. This is the Glow Powder palette. I don't know. It doesn't say anything on the back. But you get 3 shades. You get a white and then 2 goldish type shades. I thought this one would be a little too dark for me, but no, they're all super pretty. They look really nice on your cheekbones, and it just looks like it kind of just melts onto the skin. Very beautiful highlight. I really enjoyed this highlighter, and got a few friends to pick this up at Marshall's as well. I was like, girls, you guys need this, and you guys do as well. So if you see it at Marshall's or TJ Maxx, pick it up. Another highlighting palette, I have 2 more, but this one was also one that stood out to me. This is by MAC. This is the Hyper Real Glow. I'm not sure. It's the pinky version. They have like 3 or 4 now, but this one's the pinky champagne version. Super blinding, melts onto the skin. It's beautiful. A little bit goes a long way. Super creamy, very beautiful on, and I would recommend this. This was also at TJ Maxx. I bought mine at Ulta, but I think I used points, so I didn't pay out of pocket. But I've seen this and the gold one at Marshall's and TJ Maxx, so if you guys see it, pick it up. Like, a lot of good products are starting to be at TJ Maxx and Marshall's. Pick them up. Don't sleep on those. They're super nice. Next highlighting palette is by Dior. This is the Dior Backstage Glow Face Palette. This one's just in Universal. This was the first one they had launched. This also super beautiful, looks really nice on the cheekbones. A little bit goes a long way. It's just nice. These are actually 2 highlighters, a bronzer, and a blush. I don't use this as blush. I actually mix the pink and the white as highlight. And then the bronzer I actually have mixed with the white to kind of create a lighter gold version. I use them all as highlight. I've never used them as bronzer or blush. It's a highlighting palette to me, so glad I have that. And then the last face palette that stood out to me this past year was by Natasha Denona. This is the Bloom Blush and Glow palette. You get 2 cream blushes, shimmering blush, and a highlight. So pretty, like, oh my gosh, everything I'm talking about is so pretty, you guys. Look, this one is the blush and this is the highlighter. It just gives a beautiful flush to the skin. Like with that tan, your skin just looks super nice. I really enjoyed this. I actually had picked up the tan and bronze palette that's the same size as this, but actually returned it because they had 2 cream highlights. One of them was too dark for me and the other one was good, but I never used it. I was pretty much only using like the blush bronzer in there and the highlighting like powder, so I just ended up selling mine, and I actually just want to get like a little mini because I wasn't using it to its full potential. And then I decided to get this and really been enjoying it. I've been enjoying cream blush a lot just because I've been using lipsticks that are in Project Pans as cream blush, so I've really just been enjoying those. Perfect summer product that I really enjoyed. Actually, this will probably look super nice as well, like during the winter time, like a glowy, you know, blush. But I really like this. So now on to eyes. I didn't really have a mascara that stood out to me a ton. I've mentioned this a lot of times in favorites videos. This is the Essence Lash Princess False Lash Effect Mascara. It does everything for me. It lengthens, volumizes, and it's also super affordable. You can get it on sale at Ulta as well. Really like it. The wand is really small. It's not super small, but it's smaller than a lot of mascara wands. And I just like this mascara. Again, it's super affordable and it does it all for me. For liners, I really enjoyed the NYX Epic Ink liner. It's kind of like a felt tip slash brush tip. I think it's more of a, I think this is considered more of a brush tip. And it's, this one's the, I thought I grabbed the black one, but this one's the brown one. It just glides on the lids. It creates a really nice wing liner when I want it, and it's just really pigmented, again from the drugstore, really nice. Other liners that stood out for me for sure, if you guys watch Shop My Stash videos, you guys know I raved about these. These are the LA Girl Shockwave Neon Eyeliners. I have some that are lip liners, but I use them in my waterline. They don't do anything to my eyes, so if you have sensitive eyes, maybe it will to you, but I've used these in my waterline, you know, just to kind of give like a pop of color. And also the lip liners, I've used them in my waterline. I really enjoy these, super affordable. I think I picked these up when they were like $2 or $3 each. They also always have at Ulta 50% off sales, so definitely standout liners to me this past year. And then this one I also super enjoyed, the shade and the formula. This is the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Eye Pencil in the shade Torch. If you watch my Shop My Stash videos, you guys know I really enjoyed this color. It's like a burnt orange. I don't think it's brown, kind of. It's really pretty in the waterline as well. Really enjoy this formula. And Urban Decay, sometimes you can get their pencils at 50% off, but this color is super pretty. Before I talk about my eyeshadow palettes that stood out to me this past year, I want to talk about these. These are actually flakes. These are by the brand Lorena Makeup. She has like an Etsy shop, and I pretty much have all of her flakes, but these are just a few to show with you guys that I wanted to share with you guys. This one is in the shade Halo, this is Unicorn, and this one is Galaxy. These are like multi-dimensional flakes. They're really thin on the eyes, kind of like glitter. I have Unicorn kind of a little scattered on my lids there. These are really nice to kind of add some duochrominess to your eye looks, kind of to add a little extra oomph to your looks. Really been enjoying these, and actually my friend Naya was the one that got me into those. I'm gonna do eyeshadow palettes. The first one I've talked about and raved about recently, Melt Cosmetics Muerte palette. I feel like the color scheme is beautiful in here, very unique. The palette is super unique as well. Loving the color scheme. The formula is super nice on this as well. I feel like this formula is not as powdery as like Gemini is. I don't know, it feels like it's a little different. I really love the formula on this palette here. Another palette, I have two from Ace Beauté. This one is the Fallen Paradise palette, which is their purple palette. I really like their formula. This one is a little powdery, but I love purple. Like, purple looks are my favorite to create. I think it's really nice, and it's also super pigmented and very beautiful. Love this. Also really like the Oceanic palette. I think it's super pretty. It's really unique to my collection as well. I don't buy a lot of these kinds of shades because I don't wear them often. I don't wear blue often. Today I went all out with blue. For some reason I'm like, let me do a blue look today, but this is really pretty. I feel like this is more on the greenish side. It does have a few pops of blue, but I feel like it's more green. Really pretty again, super pigmented. And you can also find codes other influencers have on Ace Beauté. You can get some of their, I think they're affiliate codes, and you can get like 10 or 15% off. So definitely look up a code before buying from them. Two palettes from Kaleidos Makeup. They did send these over to me. These two have been standout palettes to me that they've sent over. The first one is the Futurism 3 palette, Astro Pink. This is beautiful. I love how these shades in here, the blue is super pigmented. These shades are really beautiful in the crease. This raspberry color is pretty as well. Very beautiful palette, and the color scheme is, I feel, pretty unique in my collection as well. And then this one's the other one that was really stand out from all of the ones they sent me. This is the Futurism 4, I think. It has the 1 and the V. I think that's 4. I think if I was 6, it would be the other way, right? So this is the VR Neon. The shimmers in this is beautiful. Look at this beautiful palette right here. The shimmers, it only has 2 shimmers and 4 mattes in here, but I don't buy a lot of bright eyeshadows like this. Again, very pretty. The shimmers are super pigmented. Look at this. Super reflective, very beautiful. Look at that. It's so pretty. Like, these two palettes for sure were standout palettes from the ones they sent me. These are nice. I would definitely jump on this brand. I feel like they have a lot of unique products right now, and they're just gonna grow and just really bloom. I just feel like they're gonna do super, super well. More natural, everyday kind of palette, but this is newer to my collection. I really enjoyed it though. I definitely had to mention in my favorites video. This is the Huda Beauty Medium Nude Obsessions palette. So it's the medium one again. Here's what the inside looks like. These mattes right here are perfect mattes for everyday use. I really enjoyed this palette. This will be perfect for travel. The shimmers I wish were a little lighter because I really love how light and beautiful the mattes are in here. They're really pigmented as well. I wish the shimmers were a little lighter in here, but overall, beautiful palette, beautiful color scheme, perfect everyday palette. I loved it. Next up, I have this Dominique Cosmetics Latte palette. This is nice as well. This would be a good travel palette as well because when I travel, I don't really go out on my makeup. I pretty much do like a simple color in the crease, a color on the lid, and let's go, because it's usually like let's go and do something or let's go shopping or something, you know. So this one's nice. The formula is really buttery, and these mattes are perfect everyday kind of colors for me. The shimmers are really nice as well. A little bit goes a long way. I've pretty much only used the neutrals in here. I haven't really dipped into the colors in here, but this formula is really, really nice. I have 3 palettes from Anastasia. If you guys follow my videos for a while now, especially during Shop My Stash videos, you guys know I'm not a big fan of ABH formula, but these 3 definitely stood out to me this year. The first one is this Jackie Aina palette. The packaging is beautiful. I actually don't follow Jackie Aina, but I got sucked into buying it when I saw it at Ulta. This formula is different compared to the other palettes I have, like Subculture for sure. That one's super powdery. Modern Renaissance was kind of powdery. Even Sultry, like one of the browns in there was very powdery. But this one is not as powdery. I feel like the formula is different. I love the color scheme in here. if you don't like ABH formula because of how powdery they are, try this one out. Like, I get sucked into buying her palettes because she has beautiful color schemes, but I'm actually really happy that this one worked out for me because it's not that powdery formula that we all know she has. Some people do like that kind of formula, but I don't. I like to use my kickback. I don't like to be wasteful. I like to use my kickback, so if I am creating more kickback when I'm trying to pick up the kickback that's already in the pan, it kind of makes me mad, to be honest. So I really like it. I love the color scheme. The formula is great, so definitely recommend and really love that. 2 palettes from the volume collections that Norvina launched. Love both of these. I don't have the second one because I didn't like the color scheme. It has a lot of blues, which I'm not a super big fan of. I'll wear them randomly, but not something that I would really reach for. The purple palette and also the neutral type of palette. Love both of these. So here's what the volume one looks like. Beautiful shades. I love purple tones, pinks, these red orange shades. Definitely love. It has a few pops of blue, but it's not like an all blue palette. I really like it. The formula is super nice. These might be just because they're pressed pigments also that the formula is different, but I really enjoyed those. And then this one's volume 3. I love this one. This one's definitely a neutral lovers type of palette. Very beautiful, very pigmented. I really like the color scheme in here as well. It's a really nice everyday kind of palette, but you can also create beautiful looks. So I just have lip products to share with you guys. For sure, Jeffree Star Cosmetic Lippy Formula, super nice. Packaging is beautiful as well on this one especially. This one is the Are You Filming Lippy that was in collab with Shane Dawson. And then this one just was a part of the holiday collection last year, I believe. Beautiful formula. They have tons of beautiful colors. Anything from natural to reds and crazy colors. I love this formula. Very, very beautiful. These Tarte Rainforest of the Sea lipsticks are super nice as well. I love the formula on these. They're really, really creamy. I also was able to snag these up during a 50% off weekly wows at Sephora. I did pick up like neutral kind of colors, which, you know, I want to pick up lipsticks that I'm going to use for everyday use. These ones are super creamy. Maybe I should be swatching this. This one is in the shade Set Sail. It's like a pinkish nude. And then this other one is in the shade Siesta. I got 3 of these. But this one's more of a nude kind of color in the shade, again, Siesta. And let me swatch these other ones. This one is in the shade Human Nature, which is more of a darker kind of color. Right there. And then the Are You Filming? On the lips, on here it looks really red, but on the lips it's more of like a red-orange. Still very beautiful. The formula is super comfortable, so enjoying these. I also really enjoy the Liquid Catsuits by Wet n Wild. This shade in particular was really beautiful. This is in the shade Caramel Cake, and I think it looks really pretty on the lips. And the formula is also super comfortable. And then these ones stood out to me as well. These Too Faced Melted Matte Liquefied Matte Longwear Lipsticks. I've had this for a couple years now. This was in the shade Gingerbread Girl. I really like the shade of this. It's like a red-brown color. It's really pretty and it smells delicious as well. And then I love my reds and I really enjoyed this red color as well. This is in the shade Lady Balls. It's just like the perfect red kind of color right there. Really enjoyed this formula. And then lastly, I want to share with you guys this gloss. I'm not big on glosses, but this, I was really like, wow, my lips look super juicy, very beautiful. This is the Fenty Beauty Gloss Bomb in the shade Fenty Glow. This just makes your lips look super juicy and very beautiful. It's not sticky either. It's really nice, so I would definitely buy more of these. I probably just buy like the little minis. There's no way I'm going to use this like in a year. It'd probably take me longer to use up, but I use this on top of like a liner. I've used it on top of a lipstick and alone. I really like the way my lips look. They just look nice and juicy, super comfortable, not sticky again. Really enjoyed that. And I believe that is all. Those have been my 2019 favorites. That was a lot of products. I hope you guys enjoyed listening to my 2019 beauty favorites. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Let me know down below what products were standout products to you this year. I'd love to know. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you all in my next video. Bye!